Once upon a time, in a quaint and picturesque village nestled amidst rolling hills and lush greenery, there lived a young boy. This village, with its simple homes and serene landscapes, was a place where everyone knew each other and life moved at a gentle pace. The boy was exceptionally bright and had a natural curiosity for learning. He loved to study and could often be found with his nose buried in a book, even while sitting under the shade of a tree. However, his responsibilities at home often took precedence over his studies. His family relied on him to help with daily chores and work in the fields. Every day, from the crack of dawn until the sun dipped below the horizon, he toiled in the fields. The work was hard and exhausting, but he never complained. He knew his family depended on him. Only in the quiet of the evening, when the day's work was done, did he find a few precious moments to study. As he grew older, his dedication to his studies did not go unnoticed. By the time he reached the 12th grade, the entire village had high hopes for him. They believed he was destined to top his class, a beacon of hope and pride for their small community. His intelligence and hard work were well known, and everyone admired his determination. The day of the 12th grade exams arrived, and the boy gave it his all. He poured his heart and soul into those exams, hoping to make his family and village proud. But when the results were announced, a wave of disappointment washed over him. He had failed in one subject. The news spread quickly through the village. The villagers, who once held him in high regard, began to taunt and ridicule him. Their words were sharp and hurtful, and the boy felt the sting of their mockery deeply. It seemed as though everyone he encountered had something negative to say. The path from his home to the fields, once a familiar and comforting route, became a gauntlet of insults and jeers. Each day, as he walked that path, the weight of their words bore down on him. The laughter and pointing fingers were like daggers to his heart. He felt isolated and alone, struggling to understand why the people he had grown up with were now turning against him. Unable to bear the constant humiliation, the boy sought solace in his teacher, a wise and kind-hearted man who had always believed in him. He poured out his heart, saying, "Sir, every time I head to the fields from my house, everyone I come across makes fun of me. I don't know how to face them anymore." His teacher listened patiently and then offered a piece of advice that would change the boy's perspective forever. "Why don't you do this?" the teacher suggested. "Take a big pitcher and fill it all the way to the top with milk. As you walk down that path, make sure not to let a single drop spill." The boy, intrigued by his teacher's advice, decided to give it a try. One day he filled a large pitcher to the brim with milk and began his walk down the familiar path. He walked slowly and carefully, his eyes fixed on the pitcher, ensuring that not a single drop would spill. As he walked, he became so engrossed in the task at hand that he didn't notice the people around him. The voices that once seemed so loud and hurtful faded into the background. His entire focus was on the milk, and he was determined not to let any spill. The boy's concentration was unwavering. He walked the entire path without spilling a single drop. The mockery and taunts that had once seemed unbearable now seemed insignificant. He realized that by focusing on his task, he could block out the negativity around him. The lesson here is profound. When you immerse yourself in your work and stay focused on your goals, everything else fades away. The distractions, the negativity, and the hurtful words lose their power over you. Don't let the voices of others deter you from your path. Their taunts and criticisms are just noise. What truly matters is your dedication and focus on your goals. Just like a camera that focuses on its subject and blurs everything else, you need to focus on your work and your aspirations. When you do that, everything else will naturally blur out. The world around you may be full of distractions and negativity, but with unwavering focus, you can rise above it all. Everything else will blur out on its own. So, if you found this story inspiring and want to share it with more people, don't forget to like this video and spread the message of focus and determination.